Kindie Rock Stars. Prepare for a treat, let's meet and greet some bands and singers that are super sweet, making music that's fun for boys and girls. Help them learn about this great big world. Fun for the family, yes it's true, your kids will love it and you will too. Clap and dance and sing aloud, become a part of the Kindie crowd. These songs will make you move your feet and give your ears a great big treat. So settle in, grab your guitars, and let's get to know our Kindie rock stars. Hello everyone, and welcome to Kindie Rockstars. This is the show that gives you the stories behind the songs from some of the best bands and singers that are making fun, informative, educational, catchy, and occasionally silly songs for children and families. I'm your host, Patrick Adams, and each episode of Kindie Rockstars will feature an artist and a featured song. So let's get to this week's show. Here with me today from the beautiful country of New Zealand is Judi Cranston of kindyRock. Judi, welcome to the show.
Hi, it's so great to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And I love the name of your show. I think we have a little bit in common there.
Absolutely. It's a great name you have. So tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got into Kindie music and some of your background.
Sure. Well, I've always had a love of music, which I'm sure you understand. And, you know, right from a very early age, I remember listening to choirs and just being absolutely absorbed by things like that. I taught at schools. I trained as a secondary teacher and taught secondary school and then intermediate, which is the 11, 12-year-olds, and then primary, and then ended up doing preschool stuff. I left teaching and decided to be a rock star because I wanted to be a rock star. So I had a band called Famous Fish for quite a few years. And then sadly, one day about 14 years ago, I broke my knee on stage. And I thought, oh, I can't be a rock star forever. I better think of something else to do. So I decided to start up kindyRock, my music education company. And I do have a real affinity with using music as an educational tool. And so for me, kindyRock is about that, creating songs and teaching experiences using music that people can really enjoy, but also learn things from. So that's the background, where it came from.
Very good. Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about your company. So how many different ways does it use music to teach and educate? And do you get out there and perform under that name?
Yeah, okay. So our brand name's called kindyRock, and I guess the first few years we did lots and lots of classes where we would invite parents or mainly parents, caregivers along, and we would be having a little circle time in a room with like 10 mums and 10 kids, generally the preschool age, and mainly sort of under 3 as well, because mostly by the time kids get to 3 in New Zealand, then they're off to kindies or other things, kindergartens. So I spent the first 3 or 4 years really just honing in on what children liked to listen to, what parents like to listen to as well. So it became a collective learning experience, learning to write a song that really encapsulated something that was interesting for the child, but also a learning experience as well. So I spent a lot of time honing the craft of writing an educational song that was still fun because we don't want it to be boring. And then, so in the first few years, I actually put out 6 albums, which was mammoth, but I wanted to actually have enough material of my own so I didn't have issues with copywriting. And so a lot of the stuff I wrote in the first few years was like, okay, we want to do a transport theme. I need to write a train song or a song about a digger. And so that's how I started writing. And then as I got further on, I changed the style a bit of writing and got more into personal development kind of stuff. So I wrote a whole bunch of affirmations for kids, which I don't think we're going to talk about today, but we might another day. But anyway, so I wrote a whole bunch of affirmations for kids, which is using music as a positive learning experience of language and feelings and stuff. But more recently, because I feel like I don't want to just keep writing, I want to extend what my what I want to say, my footprint on the world. I've got into teaching teachers. So that's what kindyRock mainly does now. So it teaches, not necessarily teachers, but anyone who wants to actually use music as an educational experience with kids, how to do that in a better way, in a more effective way. And why we want to do that. Like why is the brain such a beautiful thing for children to use when you use it with music? You know, why does it all work together? And so you use a bit of neuroscience, a little bit of developmental science, like what sort of ages and stages are children at different, you know, what are they learning? What's the difference between a baby's song and a 5-year-old song? And yeah, and so now that's what I'm doing now. I'm developing training courses for teachers to go to, and so I guess we've done a bit of the full spectrum, and now that I'm getting a little older, I don't have to jump around quite so much.
So do you have a specific age range that your music is targeted for? I know you mentioned 0 to 5-year-olds, but is that the main group?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Kindie in the New Zealand sense is preschool music, which is 0 to 5. A lot of, well, I won't say a lot, but the music I've written in the last sort of 3 or 4 years has been more for the 4 to 8-year-olds, but that's just a smaller bracket. But most of my stuff, anything under the kindyRock brand, is the 0 to 5.
Very good. So kind of what inspires you? Because in some of the people I've talked to, is like anything can inspire a song, but what things typically get you to think, oh, that would be a great song?
Yeah. Well, I'm really interested in the written and the spoken word. So, you know, sometimes people will just write something on Facebook and immediately I go, oh, that's a song. And it's like my brain just goes tick, 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 tick. Yeah. And I've also been, you know, as I've developed my resources, I've been, you know, given jobs to do, like, we want songs about beanbags. So sometimes it's been very prescriptive in my writing. But other times, like, I'm just looking out my window at a purple bucket and I'm thinking, you know, I can just easily make a song about purple buckets or something to do with rhythm around buckets. So I think my brain's just kind of wired for music and creating it.
Yeah, I can totally understand.
Yeah, I bet you can.
So how did you weather the pandemic down in New Zealand? What was the scene like? What did you do to kind of get through it musically?
Well, it's interesting because for us in New Zealand, it hit the middle of March, and the end of March, I was due to go to the UK and do some training there in Australia. So it completely chopped me off at the knees. I wasn't doing a lot of kindergarten work, but I was doing more of the training stuff. So I was really lucky to be given a grant by Creative New Zealand, and I created an app for kindyRock. So basically it was replacing the fact that children couldn't go to their classes, you know, they couldn't go to their libraries or their daycares or the kindergartens anymore for music. So I created a whole lot of little videos and I stitched together a whole lot of songs. So I made little music times. And because I'm so, I don't want to say the word paranoid, but I feel a little bit like that. I'm really adamant that we should be creating music that's related to where the child's at. So within the app, I have got 4 age groups. So each age group, which is the babies, the toddlers, the preschoolers, and the older children. So older children's like 5 to 6-year-olds. So each different age group has their own specific little lessons and things. So that's what I was busy doing all last year. And it was supposed to be released in December, but it came out in March this year amidst another pandemic that we got locked down in our city. So it's been, yeah, I mean, even now as we speak, we've gone back into another lockdown. So home again, loving my husband. Yeah, so pandemic certainly has made a change for me. And I guess it's opened my eyes up to realize that people really do want online stuff. And it's been something that I have been avoiding, I guess. And also, I mean, we all love being in person with music, don't we?
Right.
There's a certain vibe and seeing the faces of children but, you know, we've had to learn to use our music in different ways. And so I feel like the pandemic's been a blessing in a way. I've got people all around the world now who love my stuff. And, you know, that's really great. Comes back to one of my life goals, which I could tell you about it if you want, but I want to let you have a turn.
No, please go ahead and tell me.
It was in 2009, so I've been doing kindyRock for 1 year, and I made a goal that I wanted my music to be all around New Zealand, and it was like, okay, I worked pretty hard, and yeah, it was through New Zealand, through most of the daycares and kindergartens. And so the next year I thought, oh, I better make another goal. So I wrote down on a piece of paper, I want my music to be accessible to any child in the world. And this was back in 2009. And now I see that that's come true. Like I never had any idea how that was going to happen, but it's pretty exciting seeing our music being able to be reached by other people in other countries. And I think it's such a beautiful time for us to be creators, because everything is so accessible. We're really blessed.
Yeah, I think the platforms that are available now has really opened up that horizon. That's been fantastic. All right, are you ready to get into a song?
I am so ready.
All right. This episode's song is called Jiggle Your Scarf. Love that title. So, Judi, tell me what inspired Jiggle Your Scarf.
Well, I guess in New Zealand we love the Wiggles, so I couldn't call it Wiggle Your Scarf, but I really wanted to write a scarf song that would capture the imagination of the 2-year-olds and have simple enough language to be teaching them. So within the song, we're teaching them the fine motor skills, we're teaching them a little bit of language, how to move parts of the body. And then also at the end of the song is quite cool because I get them to sit down. So if you're in a big group of children and they've all lost the plot and been crazy with their scarves, at the end, at least they're going to be sitting down. So yeah, I sort of try and poke a few little learning experiences within the song. Yeah, that's the background for my song.
Very good. Yeah, it's so funny when you mentioned the Wiggles, the song Fruit Salad all of a sudden started playing in my head.
Yeah.
all of my kids kind of grew up on them. Yeah, I know. I listened to the song and it looks like a fun song that kids can interact with and things like that. So are you ready to play the song?
Oh, I sure am. Let's
All
go.
Right. Here you go. Jiggle Your Scarf by Judi Cranston of kindyRock. That was Jiggle Your Scarf by Judi Cranston of kindyRock. All right, Judi, tell everyone where they can stream and download that song and where they can find and connect with you on social media.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you've got your listening ears on because it's a little tricky. My YouTube channel is kindyRock, and Kindie is not spelt like this podcast. It's spelled KINDYROCK. So kindyRock on YouTube. Or if you want to find me on Spotify, you actually have to find my name, which is Judi Cranston, Judi Cranston. But actually, if you just Google the song of the name or in Spotify, you should be able to find it as well. And apart from that, you can look me up on my Facebook and also on my website, which is just kindyrock.com.
Very good. Judi, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. It's been amazing.
Take care.